Hello. Welcome to the Goods. I know that you have been looking at us wearing our Fly Goods podcast gear and wondering where can we get those. Well, guess what? We have the answers for you. We have it here, Teespring. Go to Teespring and you will find all of this glorious merchandising, from T-shirts to mugs to, well, there's other toys, but we can't talk about that now. Go to Teespring. Enjoy our memorabilia.
And we're back.
All flash.
No substance. So with Sean Connery recently passing on Halloween, we decided to do a kind of tribute to Sean Connery and do the top 5 Sean Connery films. Now, we normally have Manny do our top 5s, but he couldn't be with us today. So once again, we had Carla sit in. She is now our go-to person for our videos when nobody else shows up. So, Carla.
That is not, no.
No?
That makes me feel like I'm like just like the leftover replacement.
Whoa, that's not what we said at all. That's not what I said.
Okay.
That's not what I said at all.
Okay.
I just said you are a go-to person. Okay. So you are the ringer that we go to the bullpen for baseball.
Okay.
It's like go get the
okay.
get the closer out,
911
right?
emergency like people that you like will have like on the line.
There you
okay,
go.
I like it.
All right.
Okay.
See, I like that too. So Carla, go ahead and give me your top 5 Sean Connery films.
Okay. I try to do some research because like
Wait,
honestly.
hashtag research. We don't do research on here.
Well, it's just like the thing is that he has like a bunch of like amazing movies, so
Right.
it's difficult to pick. So what I tried to do at first was like, okay, I'm not going to do like the whole like James Bond. Like I'm
Right.
going to the obvious options.
I don't think he has 5 James Bond films.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's more than 5 James Bond
Okay,
films. but
yeah.
He
but
didn't do 5 James
no,
Bond
I
films.
know, but what I'm saying is that in my picks, I didn't pick any of the James Bond movies.
Really?
No.
Oh, wow, okay. I can't wait to hear these picks.
Yes, I tried to go like out of the box like options.
Okay.
Because I think that he was more of an actor than just James Bond.
Okay.
So
Very
that is-
true.
okay.
Very true. He really was.
Yeah. So
All right.
first of all, we're supposed to say like number 5.
I'm
no?
I'm going to do that.
Okay, so I'm ready. So
Yes. So, number 5.
there you go. Okay.
It's the first time her doing this.
Yes. Okay, so number 5, for me, and it should be my first because of the like a personal history of it, but still not. The Entrapment. That was a great movie.
Okay. With Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I think like the whole like dynamic that they both had during the movie,
Right.
and how he was teaching her, like how like the whole practice of how they're going to get the mask, that was amazing. Like to me, like I remember like seeing that whole thing and trying to remember the whole like dynamic of how she was supposed to walk under like the whole trap of it.
Right.
That was so cool.
Yeah. So only thing I remember about that is watching her move through the lasers.
I know.
I almost forget that Sean Connery was in that movie.
I know, because but she was I agree. That was one of the movies that she looks super sexy.
She does.
And yeah, so honestly, I
Michael
agree.
Douglas, I hate you.
Don't hate him. Like honestly, don't hate, just love.
Okay, there you go.
But like honestly, like she looks super cool. But anyways, like, and the fact that you don't know whether she's actually like on his side or not.
Right.
That and you are like you don't understand that during the whole movie. I think that I just love it. I
Right.
think that is a really cool
It's a good
movie.
thing. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Number 4.
Yeah. Okay, so for my number 4, I was debating because I had like a couple of options there, but I really like a movie called Rising Sun.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Okay, so I want to hear why you like this film, because I love Rising Sun.
Really?
Yeah, I actually did.
Okay.
I saw it like probably way too many times. I should have seen this film, and I saw it way too young that I should have seen this film.
Okay, I had like a couple of like topics in my mind that what I like it. So
Okay.
the fact that he's like first of all, like the whole chemistry that he had with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And how like first when I saw it, like I didn't like picture like Wesley Snipes. He looks so young. So I mean.
Yeah, I mean it was early Wesley Snipes. I get it.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
okay.
but that was like really cool, like the whole dynamic. and the other thing that is like really like
That Sean
catchy,
Connery was supposed to be Japanese?
Yes! Like he has like all these phrases for Japanese like shit.
That was the
and that
funniest
is,
part about it.
Yes,
It's like,
and
I'm really
he's
supposed to buy him with this Scottish accent that he's
exactly.
Japanese.
And he's trying to catch this hooker like killer.
Right.
Out of like Japanese phrases. I think that is so cool. And he has them like on the top of his hand. So I think that is really cool.
I think that is the one time that we were just like, we love Sean Connery because he didn't sound Japanese, he didn't look Japanese, and we were like supposed to buy that he was Japanese somehow.
know.
Either we loved Wesley Snipes or we really loved Sean Connery because it was the most ridiculous thing in the world and we bought it.
It's just like it fits. For some reason, like everything fits. And their chemistry, like on screen, I think that was great.
All right.
So I really like it.
I agree. I love Rising Sun too. I like I said, I watched it a bunch of times, and every time I kept thinking, I was like, he is not Japanese. But,
Right, but like the fact that he knew like all of the shit and he like would like put it off, I really liked it.
All right.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay, my number 3 is First Night.
Really?
Yes.
With what's his name?
I don't remember the
With the
other
Joker.
Yes, but I mean whatever, like the other characters. The thing that I like about that is that if you think about it, like everybody else looked like they are like not from that particular time.
He's the only one that fits it.
Yes, he's the only one that actually like.
Was
just
he supposed to
because-
be Arthur?
Yes.
Okay, he was Arthur.
He
okay.
was King Arthur.
Okay.
It's like just like his accent and his elegance.
You know,
and
that
how,
Scottish
like,
accent that he was supposed to
But
be
he
Japanese a while
doesn't
ago.
need to do anything else. Like how he like portrays that character so well, and you don't need to do a bunch of like shit with him because he just fits. I think that was amazing.
I think.
And also something that I heard that a bunch of like fans actually love about that movie is like his like love affair with like Guinevere, and that actually is not part of the original like story.
Oh, they wrote that in for him.
Yes, but
Okay,
they
I
do
did
it
not know
because
that.
yes, because they do it like for him, and actually like it was like really like accepted from the fans when that movie
Well, because
came out.
you know the whole like mythology was that he was in love with Guinevere, and then Lancelot was like coming in like
I
ruining
know,
stuff, right?
but again, like the fact that he fit for that movie, I think that was amazing.
I will give you. Actually, I have never seen First Night, and I keep saying that it was with the Joker. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. But I've never actually seen First Night. I'm just aware of the movie and that it took place and that it was a thing, but I've never seen it. But now the way you talk about it, I'm probably still never gonna see it. Number 2.
My number 2, it's the Professor Henry Jones on Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And
all right.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
So high.
It's just like, I honestly, one of my favorite scenes in that movie is that when they are like trapped,
Yes.
like behind their back,
And they're, like, targeted to
going
the-
about. That was like amazing, and it's just like, and I didn't even know this, like how come they're like only 12 years apart from each other.
Really?
But the fact that you can actually believe that they are father
Because Sean
and son.
Connery looks so old, is what you're saying.
No, it's just like how he betrayed like the whole
Harrison
character.
Ford looks so young, is what you're
No.
saying.
Well, in your mind, you have this like amazing guy like playing Indiana Jones and whatever. But the fact that he was like actually like they were like so like not so close to be apart in age to be father and son.
Right.
But like I think that he was amazing, and the fact like the whole chemistry and how he was so annoyed every time that he called him like Junior. I don't know. I think that they make a really good like.
I think
point.
so.
Yes.
There should have been like they should have got a buddy cop movie.
Yeah. And my favorite scene is when they are on that like flipping thing on, and they were like back to back. I think that was like hilarious. So I don't know. I really like that movie because I think that actually because of that scene.
Okay. I will agree with you. I really enjoyed Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. But that is now going to bring us to your number one.
My number one. Okay. And I didn't want to be obvious in bringing up any of the James Bond movies.
Okay.
Because he's the original, like, James Bond. Like,
Okay.
you cannot have any, like, I love Daniel Craig.
He's the prototype, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I love Daniel Craig. Don't get me wrong. Like, to me, I love him. Pierce Brosnan sucked. But anyway.
Whoa!
Okay, that is another
reckless
topic.
for you to say on here. Pierce Brosnan did not suck as James Bond.
He did.
Reckless.
He did.
So much
But okay.
disrespect. So much disrespect.
But okay, we can talk about it that in another episode. We did the better James Bond.
My heart. Pierce.
No, Daniel Craig called me. But okay. But anyways, like I didn't want to pick any James Bond because I think that it was so obvious. I think that he's like the major, like James Bond. Like I don't think that anyone can replace him.
No.
So I don't think that he can even like be called in a top 5 because it's not even worth it.
So now I'm really curious. If you didn't pick a James Bond film, what is your number one?
The Untouchable.
Okay.
As Jim Malone.
Okay.
Come on, like you had that
It's a good pick.
everything in
It's a
that
good pick.
movie. Like you have like the whole mob Irish type of thing that he's a cop and he's trying to do the whole Al Capone thing, and you have like Kevin Costner and like Robert De Niro back in the day when they're all like handsome and hot. So I mean, right now, no, probably not. But like back then, like probably.
Robert,
you
if you watch the show, I think you're so hot.
Well, maybe. Yeah, okay, maybe you are. And Kevin Costner too. I don't know. But anyways, like the whole like thing, I think that, I mean, and the fact that he won like a Oscar because of that, he's only won Oscar, which I think that was so bad.
He did a great job in that film.
Yeah.
It was like he was probably, and where Kevin Costner's character was kind of like understated and was like he was kind of like, I mean, he was your focal point of the movie because because that's how it was. But his Sean Connery character as Jim Malone was the focal point. It was like he is what kind of moved the story along. He was the one that gave you the backstory. He was the one that kind of kept everything going. He was like you wanted to hear him talk, just so you was like you knew what's going on. It's like Kevin Costner was just there.
Exactly. Like I think that your whole focus on it's like on Sean Connery.
It is.
Movie.
It's definitely on Sean Connery.
Even though that the Oscar was win for best supporting actor, I don't know. I think that he like mastered the whole movie.
All right.
Completely.
Okay. I agree with you. I love your pick so far. I mean, I don't know about the first night, but hey, your top,
it's just a classic.
Your top 5's okay.
I have a couple of like 2 options for
honorable mentions.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'll wait.
My top 5.
Okay.
All right. So.
Okay. Do you want me to say like number 5? Yeah.
Sure. I want to hear that now.
Okay. I will do it. Number 5.
Good job. All right.
Okay.
So. For my number 5, I actually, I picked something that you picked too. I actually went with Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Almost for the same reasons that you went. I felt like Sean Connery stole that film.
Yeah.
Where Harrison Ford was a big part of the first 2, your Temple of Doom and your Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade was literally a Sean Connery film.
Exactly.
Featuring Harrison Ford.
Exactly. You want to see them like together every single time.
It felt like he was the only time, because like you had 2 other films where he's had other co-stars in the movie, and this is the one time where it felt like, where like it was kind of like co-starring meant like he also got top billing. You cared about Harrison Ford's character as much as you cared about you cared about Sean Connery's character as much as you cared about Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about Round Chop and what was the girl he eventually married and had Shia LaBeouf as a son. Nobody cared about those characters.
No.
Sean Connery as his dad was the best thing that happened to Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Yes.
So much. I wonder why they didn't bring him back for a sequel.
For another on the
Though
other movie.
he would have been like 100. Well, he was technically 90 when he passed away. He'd have been like 100 in the movie aspect of it to bring him back, and that wouldn't have made sense because Indiana Jones 4 was stupid. So,
but he's just awesome.
it was a great even for the whole sets where like they both slept with the same girl and they had the whole conversation. The tied up scene, like you said, is the best part of that movie,
Right?
where they kind of play off each other. It's a great film. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why I put it at my number 5, but it's my number 5 right now.
Okay.
So,
Ready? Number 4.
number 4. I actually went with The Rock, and I can hear Manny saying yes. The Rock,
Okay,
'cause he loves that movie.
I actually liked it.
All right.
And I can understand why.
So, him being the one person who's ever escaped Alcatraz.
I know, and with the long hair.
Yes, it's like seeing him with
know.
long hair. It's like, look, this was an early Jerry Bruckheimer film, if I'm not mistaken. And Jerry Bruckheimer, Manny, put in the comments if I got it wrong, because I would normally have you here to correct me on something like that.
Manny, I'm not a replacement. You're so
yeah,
good.
so this is an early Jerry Bruckheimer film, and the action in this film is great. I would say that this is the precursor to what they consider Jerry action films, where you have somebody that's around 50 that's doing a bunch of action. Look, Sean Connery, you just kind of felt like he fit, and you didn't question the fact that he was old doing this.
There's a scene that I love that he's like, I don't know if I don't remember well, but I think that he's on the shower or something, and he's on the phone, and
You
he's
remember
like,
the shower scene.
well, but he looks like, even though that he's still old, he looks so cool. It's like the whole like complete like a better version from like James Bond, and the fact that he was like on the shower, like on the phone, he was like, if you're calling San Francisco, that was so funny. I don't know, I just liked it.
And with that, I'm gonna move on to my number 3. Number 3.
Number 3.
All right, so I actually did go James Bond, unfortunately, like you. But I went Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Yes.
I know.
Dude, that is the best
movie.
James Bond film. Look, I love Daniel Craig. I have a little place in my heart for Daniel Craig. Look, Pierce Brosnan is the second best Bond. Second best Bond. But Goldfinger established what we consider James Bond to be.
Yeah, for sure.
He brought out his Aston Martin. Did the theme song.
Yeah.
All the Q and the techie stuff, all that happened in the third film for James Bond in Goldfinger. And the simple fact, it was a bunch of women that are half naked, painted gold.
Yeah,
you can't get any better than that.
I know.
One of the villains, Pussy Galore. Best villain name ever.
Honestly, I agree. I have nothing bad to say. I just didn't want it to be obvious, but honestly,
I mean, Christmas Snow, stupid.
Yeah.
Pussy Galore.
I know. Like, honestly, like, if I ever have a kid, I may name it that.
Do not do that.
Why not? But it's okay. Why not?
But anyway, Goldfinger is a great film. I would consider that one of my favorite James Bond films.
Yeah.
The only one I would probably pick right next to that one is, I'm a really big fan of Casino Royale. Like I said, yes, Daniel Craig.
Too.
Yes, I did.
Daniel Craig, call me. Okay.
Anyways, it's you and your Daniel Craig. Anyway, Goldfinger for Sean Connery is if you look into it, that is where it's one of the final films that he, if I'm not mistaken, it is the final film that he did.
It's his final
film.
film.
It is his final film. I mean, that's where we leave, and he leaves off as James Bond on a high note. So I mean, that I had to put that one up pretty high.
That is when he actually embraced like the whole.
Yeah, it was like
character.
being James Bond. It was like before, it's like, I'm just gonna be, look, his version of James Bond is what we consider to be cool. Yeah. I mean, there is a Rebel Without a Cause in James Dean, and then there is Goldfinger and Sean Connery playing James Bond. So that's why that's my number 3.
I
so
agree. Okay.
Number 2.
Number 2.
All right. So for number 2, I'm questioning that I put this at number 2, but I love the film so much. But you guys can probably put in the comments below that you think that maybe this is probably too high for this one. But I went
Highlander?
Yes.
I so knew it! Oh my god, I so knew it.
I feel like I put it too high, but I love Highlander so much.
I know.
Not for Christopher Lambert, only for Sean Connery, because
can you name the character name of that movie?
The Clan MacLeod.
No, like his name on the movie.
No, I don't remember
his
name.
Okay, I write it down because
I don't. Oh, you actually read it?
Yes,
Okay.
because that was like one of my picks. It's
Christopher
Juan.
Lambert was from the Clan
Juan
MacLeod.
Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Oh, once again playing a character of an ethnic group that he is
Yes.
not a part of.
But the fact that he has such a Latin name, but with that accent, like you don't pick together, but he can fit it off. Yeah, I know.
Scottish accents.
I know.
I give Robert De Niro so much for playing Scarface and being Cuban when he is totally Italian. I forget how many times Sean Connery played somebody who wasn't Scottish.
But you still believe it. That's how good of an actor
No, we just
he
let it
is.
go. We don't believe it at all. We just let it go.
Well, it's just like that you understand how good of an actor he is. To be called Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez with that fucking accent and you still believe it? Dude.
I look, here's the reason why I bought into the whole Highlander like storyline and plot, because I love Sean Connery and the fact that he explained it and he went on this whole like mentor student thing with Christopher Lambert. He made it enjoyable. When they got to Highlander 2 and they're doing flashbacks, it was stupid. When they got to all of the other Highlander and spin-offs, and when they got to Lorenzo Lamas as Highlander, it got, even though I love Lorenzo Lamas, I'm not even gonna front on that one. But I love him. But the rest of it was just flashbacks and it got completely stupid. But the very first Highlander is where it all made sense. And then it went downhill from there. But Sean Connery is the reason why that movie worked.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the reason why I love Highlander. And yes, you guys can put in the comments, it's probably way too high. But for me, it deserves to be at number 2.
But I respect it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's part of the cult of like loving like Sean Connery.
Yes,
so I
definitely.
I had it on my honoring mention, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that brings me to number 1.
Number 1.
I love that. All right. So my number 1.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Is it like The Hunt of the Red October?
No. It is not that. It is Untouchables.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's why I was so
Yay!
happy about you putting it at number 1, because it is my favorite Sean Connery film.
Yeah.
Look, he was a badass, and it was like he was that old gritty cop
I
that's
know.
like seen everything, and it's like it's the Chicago way. It's how
I
we
know.
do stuff. That's how we get stuff done. We don't do paperwork. We don't go through the proper channels. We go bust heads and get stuff done, and then it's like if they come in with a knife, you come in with a gun.
I know.
You do all this stuff, and Kevin Costner was just along for the ride. That was Sean Connery's movie.
Yes. Again, I don't understand how come like he won like best supporting like actor because
was
he
deserved.
was the main lead of that movie.
Well, because it was a Kevin Costner film, and
but
so
whatever,
you have to be
like
supporting.
nobody wanted to
He
do
stole
watch
that
it because
film.
of him.
It was absolutely a great film for him, and that is how I think about back in, what was it, 1920s police. That's the way the police worked. It was
Yeah.
still racist back then, so I mean, it was probably worse for
But
black
it was
people.
like the whole
But
Irish
for
like
the
mob
fact-
type of thing. Like I don't know. I really liked it.
I love that movie, and it will always be my number 1 like it is yours. So that will bring us to honorable mentions. So please tell me what you have as an honorable mention.
Well, I have like Highlander because of the things that you thought about.
Okay.
Like the whole like mentoring like thing. I think that was really cool, and the fact that his name doesn't like match his whole accent. I think that was so cool too. And like my last name is also Ramirez, so I'm like, okay, I feel like I connected with
you
that
guys
guy.
are related. There
Yes,
you go.
I'm related with the guy. And the other mention that I had was The Hunt of the Red October because I think that it was so cool the fact that he was playing like a Russian type of guy with the Irish accent on it, but still you believe it. That is the whole thing. You still believe it. And the fact that you don't know which is actually like pro like the whole thing or actually defeating it, and he has this poker face that you don't understand within the entire movie. I think that was so cool. It was.
So, like, the whole Sean Connery theme is I will play every ethnic group that is not my actual.
Right? It's like he can have a like
He's a
whole
chameleon.
Latino,
He can be everything
Yes!
except be the
I
exact
have a
same thing
Latino
in every
last name
movie.
with this like freaking fucking accent that I know that I'm European, like so far away from Latino, like Ramirez type of thing. And he can still like play it. Dude, that is so cool.
I will never ever give Robert De Niro any more crap about being a Cuban in Scarface now after I've thought about the fact that Sean Connery has played
and
everything.
he can do it. That is the best part of it. You believe it.
My honorable mentions, unfortunately, like I think we had the same stuff. So I had To Hunt for Red October. I had Rising Sun. I like Entrapment, but I like Entrapment for Catherine Zeta-Jones more than I like it for Sean Connery.
It's just like I think that it's so. It's a weird type of relationship because they look like lovers, but at the same time, at the end,
Michael
you kind of like
Douglas is
see
standing
him.
over at the side, like nah.
But you can see it like also like a father-daughter type of relationship. So it's like the type of like perspective that you want to see it, and the fact that you can see both characters like in playing that, I just think that he's so cool. I just love that movie.
I mean,
Don't trash that movie.
I mean, I love it for different reasons. So.
Okay, fine, but okay, I understand the Catherine Zeta-Jones. If I would be a guy, don't throw it out of bed. But okay.
So that's our top 5. So if you guys want, please put in the comments your top 5s, whether it's a mixture of us, of our top 5 list, or if you can think of some other films, because I mean he has a lot of other films other like Medicine Man, which I haven't seen, so I didn't put it in my top 5 list.
The other one, it was like the man who wanted to be a king or something, a king. That was actually cool too.
Oh God, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the title of it.
Yeah, but that one.
Somebody's gonna put it in the comments below,
Yes,
so please put it on your top list, your top 5 list below. Also, too, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so far. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button. Also, if you want to help the show get better, we actually have t-shirts for sale at teespring.com /the goods, like this one. As well as you can go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com /the goods, and contribute any amount. We do have some prizes for things that you contribute, so that way you can help us do better. Please help me pay for an editor, because I would like to sleep at night.
Okay. And like you can say that I'm a better replacement than anybody
You can do that
else.
too in the comments
so
below.
That's okay.
Please do in the comments below. So for Manny and Art, who once again aren't here to do another show, I'm Terrence.
And I'm Carla.
And you guys take care. Real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. Give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take $1. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they don't have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com /the goods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it.